Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the art session series. I believe this is sketch 5 out of 6. So in this batch, I was focused on doing black and white paintings or grayscale paintings, basically no colors, no hues, one brush only for all 6 sketches. In this case, I was using a flat brush with pen tool turned on. And let me just check my full tip because I think it's about each sketch is plus minus 10 minutes. Oh, this one's 10 and a half minutes. I think for this sketch, I mentioned in the previous episode that the first 3 sketches of this batch was kind of I did like them the most, and then for the last 3 I was kind of I don't know. I think it's because for the 4th sketch and this 5th sketch, I tried doing more hard surfaces, and I think I did struggle with that. So when you do these quick sketches, quick concepts, whatever, quick paintings, it gives you the opportunity to see what you struggle with, right? Because when you're doing a quick painting, you want to make sure that you get the general stuff in, right? To the point where you get the main idea. So when in terms of the ideation, the core concept of maybe the pose or whatever, or the mood, sure, I can do it. But when it comes to sculpting hard surfaces, harder shapes, maybe it's a guy in armor or a guy, think about mecha, those types of surfaces, I did have a hard time. And also I was trying to draw a sleeve, right? I'm trying to draw a sleeve. Horrifying, by the way. So folds, I've realized that I'm not good in folds. I need to do a lot of studies. Guns, I mean, I got the silhouette done, but it's obviously not as cool. But you get the concept. It kind of makes sense. When you zoom really out to the point where you start squinting your eyes, sure. But excuse me, in this view, I do admit I did struggle quite a bit. I may do more studies in the future where I just draw soldiers, because they have a gun, they have some armor, but they also have softer parts. I mean, yeah, their skin, maybe their face, but the softer parts, meaning the folds of their clothing. I want to be able to learn how to draw those things. So maybe in the next batch, even though I have ideas for the following batch, I still it will still depend on what feels good right at the moment. So who knows if I'll do studies, but we'll see. But I do this concept of just focusing on black and white. Maybe yeah, because you can accomplish a lot of things, composition, values, lighting, and you can always add color and detail later on anyway. So in a way, just saves a lot of time, and you get to focus on just thinking about the bigger picture. Easier to sculpt things too, because when you have color in mind as you're painting and sculpting, it can slow you down a bit, in my opinion. So yeah, try painting in grayscale mode, and I think you will have fun. And whenever I do these hard surfaces, I can also tell I can't do as much detail. I'm even worse, or maybe it's because of the fact that it's a hard surface thing that you can't ignore detail. It's gonna be a lot more obvious. But for organic shapes, you can sort of wing it a bit, right? Because for example, when you do folds for the skin or wrinkles, yes, it's detailed, but it's not I'm thinking about it too much. But for hard surfaces, it's a bit more concrete, a bit more straightforward, and you can't be it's harder to be as loose compared to, say, when you're drawing more organic subjects. But I do like the mood of it. It feels painterly. I like the energy of it, so I won't take that away from me. I think that's something that I do well, right? And I seem to I kind of know how negative shapes work. I can make something appear, disappear. So when you're doing these sessions, don't think that let's say your subject is the thing you're painting is suffering, the subject itself. It doesn't mean you're not learning anything. Maybe your subject, because it's more of a reflection of your let's say visual library, right? But it doesn't mean your painting skills are affected. If you knew what the thing kind of looked like, then you would probably know what to paint, and you could probably paint it well, right? But maybe when you're doing these sessions, try to focus on the fact that you are improving your painting skills, basically the skill of being able to put paint to canvas, you know, change values quickly, play with textures, know when to add pressure, know when to remove or paint lightly, or basically not add too much pressure. It also helps you gain more experience when it comes to your tools, your brushes. And I think if you have like a bunch of sketches where you're using the same brushes or just one brush, basically you're using the same things over and over again, you sort of get a different kind of knowledge. Because I think you need to give your tools enough time to shine. Oh wow, knowledge. Excuse me, let me just drink some coffee because my throat is just like abused. I'm sorry. So now I'm adding something on the top of the head. Sometimes for me, when I paint this way, I just have fun painting forms, and like I'll add things, remove things. Like the fact that I can sculpt and just sort of play with my brush strokes, to me that's a demonstration of confidence. It can sound like cope, it's probably cope, but I'll take it. And sometimes when you paint stuff, it's about fun as well. Like sure, it may not be super like detailed, like Ruin Geo level of detail, but you know, fuck it. As a loose painting, I think it's pretty cool. Maybe right now that's all you can do, or maybe right now maybe you haven't really dived into it, but you've noticed that when you're painting, you just sort of paint loosely. I say double down, you know, paint more loose stuff, and eventually you're going to gain some skill, some kind of like you're going to be a bit more nuanced with your strokes, and eventually over time you'll want to yearn for something more, maybe, you know, more detail in your work, more sharper edges, right? And when you're ready, then, you know, do the thing. Jesus, I'm so like brain dead right now. But the point is, don't deny what you're kind of naturally inclined to do. My bad. No, I just heard like a static noise, so, and my screen was like glitching. I'm not sure why, so hopefully I can cut that out, but if I haven't, my bad. All I did, the moment I started to hear that sort of glitch thing or glitch sound, and my screen sort of like froze a bit and lagged, I just did not talk, so you're not losing anything, but hopefully I can cut that out, but if it doesn't, my bad. So let me just check my time. I'm not sure why it lagged. I don't have, sorry, I don't have anything running in the background that's too heavy, or maybe this file is just too big. That's what she said. Probably not. I don't like it when that happens. For those of you who do record your content, it can get annoying, but you know, it's a part of life. You know, I talked about this in like a short. I'm not sure if it's out now in a YouTube short, or it's also going to be on TikTok. But accept and post your mistakes. Like when you paint, when you make art, when you post videos. Number one, accept the fact that there's going to be mistakes in that content of yours, or in that artwork of yours, in that sketch painting, whatever, in that video, right, in that writing, whatever. That's first step. That's the first step. The second step is to accept the fact that you're going to post it with those mistakes. Like, you know, there are mistakes. Good. Post it. Publish it. Put it out there, right? And I think if you get used to that, you'll be unstoppable, because they're not. You would eventually become a person who's not so tight when it comes to like perfectionism is pretty much dead. Like when you get used to this. And I think the reason why I'm able to do a lot of paintings, even though are they always perfect? No. Same thing for the videos. I have a lot of videos. Are they perfect? No. But I've grown a channel that I'm somewhat proud of. It's not the biggest channel, but it's pretty big compared to like 100 subs. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. You know. Oh, by the way, I just checked my views because you can see in like the about page or whatever on YouTube, like your total views, and I think I surpassed 1 million views. Like I'm 1.7 million now, so I'm closing in on a total of 2 million views. Guys, I'm big. not to like suck my own cock here, but I'm pretty big, right? Like I'm an influence in this space. Maybe a tiny influence, you know, but it's something like I'm there, you know. Maybe I can appear, disappear very quickly, but you know, I'm sort of a roaming spirit. Okay, we're almost the video is almost like done here, but anyway. So I'll end the episode. Oh shit, I was gonna fuck. I wanted to end the episode right where it ended, but now the video just looped. But anyway, my bad. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you learned something, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.